Hey, it's J.Bullett, and this video is coming out really late this time. I crashed out. I finally found my limit. I had everything prepared the night before. I was gonna, record and do everything I had to do, and I woke up and it was 5 in the morning. I said, "Oh my God!" So you know what? I'm determined. I did all the work already. I'm gonna do the video. It's late. I know everybody probably saw the videos, but I'm still determined to take it out, and I'm gonna do it. So right before I talk about the recap on NXT Dynamite, like, subscribe, and let's get to the video. All right, so we started off with a backstage segment. Surprised, they usually don't do that, but anyway, continuing. We have Ricochet and Gates of Agony. I'm probably saying that wrong. Gates of Agony. No, I got it right. So yeah, they're in the backstage with Don Callis. Apparently, they did a bounty. They're claiming they're not, but they're claiming they didn't. Jesus Christ. But they did. Don Callis sent Mark Davis and what is his name? Jake. It was Jake something. Now it's Jake Doyle. So okay. I swear Jake looks like Mark Davis. I don't know. There's something strange about it. They look alike. They look like they could be brothers. One's like more fit and jacked, and the other one's like, I mean, he's fit too, but big. You know what I'm saying? He's more fluffy. So, I mean, they look like they can be a promising tag team and can go really, really kick people's asses. So, I like it. They took out Jet Speed. That was gonna be the partners of Jungle Boy. So, yeah, a little alliance between the two and from Ricochet and Don Callis. So, okay, interesting. So, going on with the first match, we had Jon Moxley versus Shelton Benjamin. A match that was teased last week when Jon Moxley beat Josh Alexander. After the match, Shelton was in this, in the stage, just staring. I guess that's what wrestlers do. They come out and they stare, and I guess they can just talk to each other, telepathically, and just say, "number one contender." Okay. I guess. I don't know. That's just, just for the suspense, I guess. Whatever. So yeah, Jon Moxley, it was a good match. Back and forth. In the beginning, before I forget, Shelton put out his hand and Moxley just slapped it. He didn't want the hand. And I'm just like, okay. So he's still a bastard. And then the fight was going on, and like I said, I go back and forth. So Shelton puts him in a submission. This is towards the end now. He's in a submission, and Moxley just turns it into a roll up, and I guess his weight just kind of pressed down, and then Shelton couldn't kick out, I guess. So 1, 2, 3, Jon Moxley wins. It was a good match. Again, Moxley steps out, but then comes back in, extend his hand to Shelton Benjamin, and they shake hands. Respect. Okay, so maybe I was wrong, and I'm an idiot. Jon Moxley is not a bastard. Jon Moxley is slowly becoming face, like I've been saying. So we're still telling that story, and he doesn't really have the Death Riders with him as much anymore. Interesting. So we're getting closer and closer to this Jon Moxley face turn. So we get another backstage segment with Darby Allin. He's searching for Pac. He's going crazy. He's looking for him, and he looks like a psychopath. But okay, Darby. Moving on, we had a video package of Kenny Omega, and just basically going by what he said last week. He's getting closer to his retirement. He doesn't like it. He's gonna get back into the forks of getting into that number one contender spot. Fighting for the title, for the world title, should I say? So he's fighting for that again. He's trying to get there again, should I say? So then we get Jungle Boy Jack Perry and his partners, who is it going to be? The Young Bucks. That's what came out. So yeah, the Young Bucks and Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Ricochet and Gates of Agony. The Young Bucks was looking like the Young Bucks from 2019. Super kicks for everybody. Super kick party. I don't know if you guys remember that. I'm not giving it any justice. Super kick party. I used to love watching that. But yeah, that they were looking like the old Young Bucks, you know. So it was fun. Jack Perry was doing Jack Perry things, flying all over the place. Young Bucks was doing Young Buck things, just flying all over the place. Super kick, super kick, super kick, super kick. Everybody was getting a super kick. Like it was crazy. And the ending was just so cool because we had the BTE trigger into like, so he nail it into like a flying knee, or they call it knee, whatever you call the move, but it was just BTE trigger, boom, and boom, knee. And it's like, yeah, that'll finish anybody. 1, 2, 3. And I'm just like, all right. And then all of a sudden we get Jack, right? Jack Doyle. Again, I'm new to this guy, so give me a break. So Jack Doyle comes in and just, and this is the shot of him just just choking. I think it was Jack Perry. He was choking the life out of him, and I'm just like, dang, all right, you psychopath. This is gonna be a interesting tag team. They're just gonna be killing people and just strangling them. And like, okay, then you know, the Don Callis family. That Don Callis family comes in, and then all of a sudden, you know, we had Jet Speed coming in to help. The lights go out, and I'm like, this is the same thing that happened in another segment with them. And then all of a sudden, the lights comes on. I already know who it was, and I'm just like, there it is, Andrade, of course. He's back, and I really hope they continue what they were going to do with Kenny Omega and himself. They were supposed to have a planned match, but I think this time, like, let's get back to that. Let's not forget that. And maybe Andrade beats Kenny. You know, Kenny's trying to do this journey with the belt, but let's have Andrade build some momentum and win. Because it'll be weird if Kenny wins and Andrade loses and he's just back. Or maybe they're going to save that for later on. I'm not too sure what they're going to do with that. But yeah. And then also we had FTR with Stokely Hathaway in a wheelchair, just watching all this chaos from a distance on the stage with the Gates of Agony also there watching this. And it's just interesting. They're all heels. Why are they going out there? And it looked like they were looking at Andrade, and I'm just like, what kind of history do they have with each other? Maybe the only connection I have is like when they were all in NXT, but I don't really remember Andrade having a connection with FTR. I don't know, it's the way they were looking at each other. That's just me. Anybody else saw that? Was I the only one? Was I dreaming it? I don't know. But yeah, that was an interesting one. So then we had the celebration segment with Willow Nightingale. Renee Young calls her out. She comes out with Chris Statlander and Harley. Oh man, she's talking about, you know, anybody wants to come out, you know, come. I know how the segment goes. Let's go. And then she goes, you know what? Bring Mercedes out, because Mercedes, I know this is eating you alive. Mercedes came out with like a white version of like a, you know, when women wear when they go to like funerals, but it's in black. I don't know what you call that. I don't know these styles. I'm bad at calling names on clothing. I'm not good at it. That's not my specialty. So she just mourning her loss, and then she just freaking freaks out, flips tables, goes crazy, and then all of a sudden, it's so mean. I mean, she's the one that started, and then she just started pushing Harley, and it was just like, okay. And then she went to go punch, I think, Willow, and then she trips and falls into the cape. I think Chris Styles placed it there, and she just falls and just boom. And she's like, are you serious? And then Willow, oh, boom, powerbomb. And I'm just like, Mercedes, that wasn't a good plan. You definitely went out there with emotions and didn't even think things through. I mean, kind of saw it, kind of had it coming, just to be honest. But yeah. Moving on. We had a call. We had Joe Briscoe. Oof, almost messed up again. We had Joe Briscoe calling out Hechicero. He wants to challenge him for that TNT title. I was like, okay. He's the champion, by the way. I know the way I just sounded, it kind of sounded like he was challenging him. No, the champion is calling out for a challenger, and that's Hechicero. Maybe I should have worded that a little bit better. Again, my mind is scrambling. I'm all over the place, and I can finally crash, like I stated in the beginning of the video. But I'm trying to get it together, you know. But yeah, calls him out, and we're gonna get that match. Then we had a triangle of madness. We had Tekla just talking, you know, how she always does, and she basically was trying to, like, I guess, manipulate the whole thing between Willow and Chris Statlander. I see what you're doing there, and I'm pretty sure, I hope they see it too, because sometimes baby faces are like silly and they don't catch those kind of things. Sometimes let's let wrestlers be humans, like smart humans. Sometimes they can be really dumb, and I'm just saying. Sometimes, hey, I would have picked up on that. But yeah, I see what you're doing. She says that she says that Blue and I forget her name. That's bad. Julia Hart. There we go. Jesus Christ. Why do there's so much wrestlers, I forget names. It takes me a minute to like think and try to remember that. But you know what? There we go. I get it. Julia Hart. Tekla was talking to Julia Hart and Sky Blue. Jeez, why couldn't I get that out? I don't know. Sometimes I just brain fart. Anyway, so yeah, she's like, these are not my friends, these are my sisters. And it's like, okay, they're your sisters, and pretty soon they'll be attacking you, or one of you will betray the only other. But you know what I mean. Hey, let me not be a spoil little brat here. Let me not be the little spoil guy. But that's just how wrestling goes. Anyway, I'm sure they'll be good for a while. Anyway, then we had Sammy Guevara versus Bandito. I guess Sammy called him out, and you know, Sammy's still a scumbag. You know, I guess he's jealous of him. He has a ring, and maybe he doesn't like that he's in his position. Listen, I didn't watch on Saturday, so again, I can't watch everything. I'm not there yet for me to even keep up with everything. I can keep up with like the weekly shows and the pay-per-views. If it's a regular show on a Saturday, unless it's like Saturday main event, okay. But other than that, sorry, I don't put in the time for it. No shade, but it's just what it is. I don't watch the Saturday shows. Unless I was really doing nothing and I had nothing to do, then okay. And if I had more time into this, then yes. But right now, no, I don't. So yeah, they have the match, and it was pretty good. I think at one point, Sammy like landed on his mouth or something because he was bleeding all over his. I was like, ugh, okay. I was like, that had to hurt. Then eventually, Bandito hits him with the 21 plex. He wins. So after he wins, MJF's music immediately just plays, and it's just like, all right. He comes out with Cruz, and it's funny because he had him as a interpreter, I guess. That's what you call him, yeah. So he can translate. There you go, translator. But interpreter, that's another one. That's another way, right? Yeah. I'm not an idiot. I'm pretty sure that's another way of saying that. He had Cruz come out with him to be the translator, and he I don't know, for some reason Bandito lets it play out the first time. Then when MJF says, okay, translate that, and then he like puts his hand on his face and he's like, I understand English. It's like, why didn't you say that from the beginning, Bandito? Why did you wait for him to say all that for you to just do that a sec? I don't know. Again, whatever. Just to prolong this stuff, I guess. Wrestling could be silly. Anyway, So MJF is like such in shocked. MJF, he speaks English. I swear MJF is such an asshole. That's why I love him. So yeah. Eventually MJF kicks him in the nuts. Or should I say dick. He kicks him in the dick. And nuts, but dick. Let's just go with that. Kick him in the dick, and Cruz is helping him. He takes his ring, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, MJF. All right. Then he attempts to hit him with the ring. He dodges somehow, hits Cruz. Cruz is laid out, and he's like, and I'm just like, damn. They just brought Cruz out there to get his ass whooped. So Bandito returns the favor and kicks MJF in the ding the dick. And yeah, he hits Cruz with a 21 plex, and then he hits MJF with a 21 plex, and he holds up the belt. And look, we already knew. I'm sorry, I love Bandito, but we all knew he wasn't gonna win. So that determines right there he's not going to win. It's gonna be a good match, but he's not gonna win, sadly. So yeah, we get that whole thing afterwards. Then we get Tony Storm versus Marina Shafir. Jesus. Get it together. They have a good back and forth, and the match didn't really it's just the way it ended. Look, AEW, they don't really normally do DQ, so okay, let's let it slide. It was Yuta. God damn it, Yuta. He grabbed the ref's leg, or was it Daniel Garcia? I don't know. It was one of those two. It was either Wheeler or Garcia. One of the two. They grabbed. I forget who grabbed this ref's leg. They grab his leg. Then he's on the outside arguing with them. Then he gets closer to the announcer's desk, and then he announces the disqualification. Then Marina just clocks Tony Storm. Then Mina later on comes in, and again, like what she did to Tony, she did one kicked her, how you one punch somebody, she one kicked her and she just drops so dramatically on top of Tony. At least with Tony, when she did it to her, Tony just boop, just Mina was like what the hell? Did I take some drugs? I don't know, but yeah, that was hilarious. And then Luther comes in, and Wheeler and Garcia, they're mocking him. Wheeler's like, bad idea, and Daniel's like, hi. And then that's when Roderick Strong comes in, and then Orange Cassidy's song plays. He comes out, they go running, and then for some reason, Claudio comes out, right? He's so angry. He's such an angry guy. He just came out so angry, went over the barricade, and just immediately just took off his shirt, ready to fight. And they back him off, and I'm just like, why would you back him off? I'm confused about that. But I mean, let him go in there and kill him. I mean, it probably the plan probably would have never worked. It was 3, but maybe it would have worked. But I don't know. I don't know the reason for them to back everything off. That was a little weird. But then we get another backstage segment. I can really let AEW get away with this. They don't really have as many like WWE does. I think nobody's beating NXT. They do the most backstage segments. Holy crap. We had Darby Allin finally finding Pac with Renee, and he wants a match, and Pac goes, "You're not worth my time. I'm not interested." So the Darby just attacks him from behind and grabs his leg and puts it toward the door, and Darby snapped, and he's just like, "Give me the match or I'll break your leg." And he's like, all right, fine. And he's like, "Darby, I think he's going to kill you." I don't think after doing all that, you're going to win a match. I mean, hey, you might just win the match, but I think Pac is going to kill you. He's going to grab your head and squeeze you. I don't know. I'm just kind of scared for Darby now. But hey, Darby's Darby. You know, he's a freaking maniac. It's another reason why I like him too. But I don't know what he was thinking there. But moving on. Then we finally get to the main event, the lights out match. Which, by the way, the lights were off, but then the lights were back on. It's called a lights out match. What happened there? Maybe I missed something. Can somebody explain that to me in the comments? Did I miss something? I'm not too sure. But yeah, the lights came back on for some reason. It's called a lights out match. Was there a reason why they did that? Please explain to me because I'm lost. But anyway, getting into the match, we had it was a lot of stuff going on. I had to write a lot of notes on this. So, okay, we had Powerhouse Hobbs and Hook, Hangman and Swerve. Okay. At one point, this was like, wow, they bring back the staplers, right? Hangman, he's stapling Hobbs. It wasn't doing anything. He staples him in the ding ding again, the dick, and he was never reacting to everything else, but that he just and who wouldn't? It was like comedic as hell. I'm sorry, it really was, but at the same time, it was like badass. Like, all right, boom, 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 doesn't affect me. Boom. Yes it does. That of course. Everybody laughed. It was hilarious. For some reason they brought back those bricks, and there was a lot of bricks. Right? Yeah, bricks. I'll go with bricks. Nah, bricks are more like harder. I forget what you call that material. Again, I'm an idiot. I don't freaking know. They bring that back. And so Powerhouse Hobbs, he power bombs. Not power bombs. He like does a world strongest slam on that stuff to Hangman. I said power bomb. The hell am I thinking? But yeah, he does like a world strongest slam on there. So ouch. Yeah, his back number one. There was another movie. There's so many things going on in this match that it's just like hard to remember. There was at one point too where Prince Nana was like talking trash, and Hobbs is just like, better get down, and he goes up to him, and Nana just launches coffee at him, and he's just like, I'm just like, God, was that hot coffee? Was that like Prince Nana? That's attempted murder, by the way. You're trying to burn this man's face. Anyway, so he's out for a little bit. They're going back and forth with Hook. Hobbs eventually comes back. Hook is out for the equation for a little bit. Hobbs comes back in. They do this brutal combination where it's a dead eye and it's the stomp right on that stuff, that concrete stuff. Oh my God. Just boom. Takes Hobbs out. Why wouldn't it? He's on the floor. He's down and out. And it's just Hook and Swerve and Hangman. And this is where Hook gets his comeuppance for doing everything that he did. He finally gets what he deserves. He gets double teamed. He gets the shit kicked out of him. He gets hit with the lariat. He gets hit with the stomp. He gets hit with everything. They do so much damage to him. I feel so bad. But then at the same time, again, he deserved it. And then Hangman gets the chain, throws him over the rope, and just chokes him out. And immediately, of course, he taps. They put the whooping on this boy. And finally, we got to that where we see him getting his comeuppance because of what he did. But yeah, it was a good main event. And yeah, it was crazy. A lot of stuff going on. And then I forgot to mention that the ops people, they jumped in as well That was another moment I forgot. But yeah, they jumped in, and the rest is rest. The rest is history. Sorry, the rest is rest. The rest is history. So yeah, it was a lot of stuff going on in this match. And Samoa Joe, for some reason, where the hell was he? I don't know. He was maybe taking a nap, hibernating. I don't know. But yeah, that was AEW Dynamite. Hope you enjoyed the video. Again, sorry for bringing out late. Next time, I'll try my hardest to get these videos out, but I crashed out. I guess I ran my limit. But yeah, that was AEW Dynamite recap. I'll catch you guys on the video tomorrow. I will be back on track. I'm gonna start the video right now. And check out the other videos that I put on my description box, right on my community. Let's make this channel grow. I'm trying my best, guys. I'm the only one doing this. I'm the editor. I'm the producer. I'm the director. I'm the actor. I'm everything. But yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, and share the videos. I'll really appreciate it. See you guys next time.